Hi there, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today, and we're going to get right into it, okay? It is May 24th, 2019. 24 is all about the Queen of Wands. It is a 6 of love, family, and community, but it's also the 24 of stability on the inside and the 2 of the feminine energy on the outside, looking at both sides of the situation. And stability on the inside, the number 4, for me, isn't always the best number to have because it's very structured as opposed to being free. So that is the 24-6 of the Queen of Wands. The day adds up to the 41, which is the Ace of Cups. 41 is a 5 of freedom, love, and expansion. So love and freeing yourself, but also that competitive spirit, and can cause conflict, obviously, when you have the Ace of Cups reversed. That can be all about crying. So we have the 41, which is loving yourself, loving a new love, it can be, and also spiritual love. And I keep getting these scam calls from the from saying that they're from Social Security. So if you're getting a call from Social Security, it's just a recording, and Social Security would never call someone in dire need of talking to them with a machine. They would call firsthand, or they'd actually show up at your house according to what they're talking about. So don't feed into any of those scams. So it's definitely with the trust issues and the trust wound coming up for clearing, because there's definitely some of those wounds today. Don't fence me in is definitely the word of the day. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Wands. That 41 is the 1 of the masculine energy on the inside and the 4 of stability on the outside, seeming like a very responsible person, that energy, but coming out as a 5, which is free. So being driven as to who you really are, your authentic self on the inside, but being very reassuring on the outside and stable, comes out as a 5, very freeing. Alright, so we have new love, self-love, spiritual love, and creativity and expansion of the third energy. The Queen of Wands is very much about the creativity of that third energy, about the third energy that comes in to break things up. You know, the instigator. It's a necessity in co-creation. That's how we expand. So as we get into the masculine read today, it was at 9:37. So 9, of course, is the Hermit, the wise one, the collective consciousness. It's also 37 of the Knight of Cups, or excuse me, the King of Cups, unconditional love. And 7s came up 3 times in the first times I wrote down, so 7's important today as well as some other symbols I'll let you know on the way. The major arcana for the read today were Solar Deity, which is the Sun, Indigo, which is the Magician, Justice, which is Justice. This is actually called Divine Justice in the Syrian Starseed deck, and then the Hierophant, which is actually called Guidance in this deck. All right. Just to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yeah. The Hierophant is called Guidance, but it's normally the Hierophant. So obviously, since these are the major arcanas, and the major arcana indicate significance in the read, so these are the significant energies in the read as well as divine intervention. It's all about Leo, Virgo, Gemini, Libra, and Taurus energies. Okay, so they were the most significant in the read today. Leo, Virgo, Gemini, Libra, Taurus. There were 2 swords, 4 wands, 1 pentacle. No cups in the masculine's read today. So no emotions at play today, but a lot of action, wands. And it wasn't just the 4 wands that were here, but there was a lot of red in a couple other cards as well, because the Sun is here, and just some other, let's see, Justice has a lot of red in it, as well as the Hierophant. So there's a lot of energy heating things up here as we have Friday going into the weekend. And the only court cards here were the Knight of Pentacles, and that was in the foundation, and then the King of Wands, which was in the position of things to clear, the blocks that the masculine used to clear. But the King of Wands definitely was a major player in the read. He came up multiple times as clarifiers, as well as the King of Swords, and both counterparts. So the King and Queen of Swords and the King and Queen of Wands were definitely coming up here as energy, and they're both sets are reversed. Health was the card that all of the coding came up around, and the numbers around the coding we have 3 4s in the read today and 2 8s in the cards, okay? So very significant for the 3 4s, and that's a lot about, your angels are around, so if you need them, ask for help. But it's the 8 8 of Lionsgate coming up, and also for me, 8 8 is the divine masculine and feminine standing side by side in balance at 0 point, all right? Integrated of their masculine and feminine in each of them, and then coming together. For me, the 8 8 side by side is also one single 8 horizontally. For me, that's my code. The numbers that also came up were 4 9, 4 8, 20, which is the Judgment. 29 is the 3 of Wands. 4 9 and 4 8 are the 8 and 9 of Cups. Like I said, 4 4 4 and 8 8. Also, 24 of the Queen of Wands came up again. 89, and then 2 4 1. And then 2 4 1 literally came up separately from the date today, and the date is 24 and 41. And this is 2 4 1, so it incorporated both of them. Very synchronistic. Like, very well aligned. So that's it. Oh, and I got that last night too. Alignment of 2 wands, the twin flames. So there's definitely some twins coming together here. Whether it's coming together permanently right now or just beginning the process, either way, it's amazing because it's showing alignment, and I never get that information. There's a lot of movement here for the masculine, a lot of passion. Could just be physically getting busy, working out, getting things done at work, running errands, and being passionate with somebody else. So all of those things could be at play. The Knight of Pentacles and the King of Wands, and what they have to do with the coding line here, was all about, like I said, don't fence me in. We have cell block 8 came up, which is actually a band, but it comes up as cell block H, which was the famous TV show from 1979 to 86, and that was a women's prison, cell block H, and 8 is 8, and H comes up as DNA, so that was also at play as well here with your health. Prison and health. Sometimes people need to go to prison for their health, so they'll stop living a life of stress. It's the same thing with getting sick. You get sick because a lot of workaholics will get sick in divine timing because they won't do it for themselves, so it puts them in a place of rest so they can actually focus on their health. Let's see here. The number 409 was also coming up in the code line, as well as 4092. TV, prison, so the prison show on TV, which was cell block H, as well as the cell block 8 coming up in the coding, but having that support of the 8 being at 0 point and well balanced for your health. So important today was health. Also, what came up besides cell block 8 was what's it called? Cell block 80 came up, which is actually a testosterone vitamin, but it's all vegan, natural. It's really good, actually. It's called Cell Block 80 with, check this out, the name of it, Cell Block 80, so we have the 8 and the 0, which are really significant with the numbers and this journey, because 8 is the flow, it's infinity, it's the 0 point, and the 0 is source energy contained in a human body. We have 80 with DM33. So it's called Cell Block 80, this testosterone thing. It's for, working out to help build up your muscles, but it's all natural, vegan. Pretty amazing as well. Cell Block 80 with DM, so Divine Masculine, -33, which is the Christ vibration. So it was coming up for a reason, so anyone who may be working out might want to check into it, or if they maybe need their testosterone boosted a little bit. It came up under Clean Machine, but I think it's, you can get it other places as well. It comes in 56 vegan capsules. And another Cell Block 8 that came up was a Knoxville, Tennessee band. Highway 33 came up, so again, 8 and 33 again. The TV show Cell Block H, which I told you about. And the Cell Block 80, the vitamin's called Mean Green Tea Boosting Machine. And T for me is the toggling to the etheric realm. So when you meditate and you ground yourself to the center of the earth as well as the central sun, for me the T is the toggling to the central sun, the etheric realms. The DM33, by the way, is prickly pear, which is the unusual ingredient they use. So prickly pear, very good for that. As well as some other things came up in the ingredients. Something else that came up in the codes was NIN, and NIN is an author, writer, journalist, but also it's short for National Institute of Nutrition, so again, health. It's also the national ID number, which is funny because this scam call keeps calling about Social Security, you know, and then they're after me or something like that. And then it also means now I'm nothing, but also no introduction needed. So it's all in the perspective. Which one are you going to take? Also the notice of intent to negotiate, which was definitely coming up in the read today. It also could be in the code line the Emperor and the human body embodiment of the Emperor Hermit, now taking time out to be the wise one, the collective consciousness, to connect to themselves, to their higher self, to prison, and need to prison for strong support. So whether they're imprisoning themselves in their mind, which is not healthy, or going to prison, which may be healthy for someone who's not been treating themselves right or living the wrong life, now this can turn them around as far as their health and give them strong support. For the human wise one, the hermit, the collective consciousness, to prison or to TV prison for strong, balanced support in your health. So we get right into it here, resting deep in thought, as we have the Four of Orbs and the Four of Crystals. So 2 4s back to back, all right? The Divine Masculine, then deep thinking or meditation, deep thought, with this card, which is the Four of Crystals, which for me is the Divine Masculine's heart, the bat cave, right? So we have 44, so there's a reason those 4s came up in the numbers today. There's a lot of stability going on here and building on it, on a strong foundation. Resting deep in thought as the Divine Masculine's heart warms up, dipping their toe in water, allowing their heart to be seen just a little bit. You know, just a little bit at a time. After a battle or conflict or argument, patient in a split, division, angel may be amidst post-war confusion, duplicity, pulling Excalibur from the stone, or just hand on handle in case he needs to use it. So these H's are coming up again. The H again is 8 of strength, inner strength, and health. H, DNA. Offer of love presently, third party to Scrooge, from third party to Scrooge, 2 streams of emotion pouring out as Holy Communion meets Holy Grail. 2 rods aligned, so this is where the rods were aligned, just one a little bigger or ahead of the other in growth, or the fruit of their labor. Grail and gold coin, Queen of Pentacle watches a tall fence go up at home. Burdens or growth, protection of home, or is that actually separation? Okay, so, and I literally have someone building a fence next door, so it was definitely bringing it into the read. And it's not just about my neighbor's fence. This is the underlying energy in Romance Angels. Free yourself. Don't fence me in. Okay? So very much about freeing yourself from the fence. I love that it was don't fence me in, and then I have a fence being built next door. And then I'm thinking about doing it too, only to beautify the backyard now, because now I have fences on both sides, so it's not going to make my yard look as nice if I want to sell it. But it's not so much about not being allowed to have a fence at your house. It's more about fencing yourself in emotionally and physically. Are you fencing yourself in by staying at home and not going out to the world? So these are the questions you have to ask yourself. Is the fence going up at home burden or growth? Is it protection of home or separation from others? And I want you to note that the symbols that came up in this read were H, 8, T, and O. And if you take the 3, because 8 and H are the same, and you spell a word, it's hot. H-O-T. Okay? And Thoth may say that's his nickname as well. He was just giving me that. Perfect. And I just told you now too, that there's a lot of hot energy in the read. Oh, I wanted to tell you too, because it was so weird when I got up this morning. I woke up and my clock said like 12:30, and I never am able to sleep that long. It would have been me sleeping like 12 hours, but I thought I did, so I jumped out of bed only to realize when I looked at my iPad that it was only like 8:30 or so, which was normal for me. So my clock stopped. I have no idea why. It's working. It never stopped, but I don't know if the power went out at some point. I'm not aware of it, and I don't remember any big storms going on. So it was just really strange that there was like a time jump. So we may be jumping timelines. The underlying signs that came up in the read before I get started was Libra upright, Capricorn both directions, Aquarius reversed, Pisces reversed, Sagittarius, male upright, feminine reversed. Leo was upright and reversed. Upright was the Strength card and reversed was the Sun card. Gemini was upright, and then the court cards that in the clarifiers that came up here just in the underlying energy were the King of Swords reversed, which came up again in the read a couple times. The Queen of Pentacles was probably reversed, Page of Wands reversed, and Page of Cups reversed. So as where yesterday I was getting a whole lot of people upright, today I'm getting a whole lot of people reversed. So as I turned the page, it was 10:30, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and the 30 of the 4 of Wands, the Union card. New love present and coming together with Scrooge or new neighbor's party, and they want to keep to themselves. Natural fences for a peaceful home and to clean up the way the yard looks, so to beautify. The Divine Feminine dipping their toe into no emotions to see how it feels to be more masculine as opposed to feminine, or natural surroundings as opposed to a perfectly manicured yard or place to be. So Nin, N-I-N, also came up as 9-inch nails. When we talked about being perfectly manicured, we're also talking about our home, our bodies, okay? So as opposed to 9-inch nails and a perfectly manicured yard, maybe trying things that are a little bit more freeform. But the Sun was coming up as out, but reversed here. Drained or sick or illness is coming up. From partying too much, being Scrooged too much, holding on too tightly, imprisoning self due to secrets or in prison of justice system or of the ignorant, the unaware, now made aware too late of illegal activities. So them obviously going to jail. Somebody fenced in or trapped or set up. Libra upright, Pisces reversed, blind to the jail around them and now made aware. Truth and balance or justice, and jailbirds refusing to see or use their intuition now fall. Stepping in puddles of dead water as opposed to a stream, a dead-end street. Time to go. Mold in the water from sitting too long. And then that's when free yourself came up. Don't fence me in. And underneath that was chemistry, which is all about your health and vitamins. All right? So it's about freeing yourself within and without around your house. Happiness out and getting a wish. The King of Swords, third-party reunion, but pain and sadness after due to not waking up about the situation or planning a reunion to come together to end the pain, but done trying to wake up others who refuse or choose to be blind or ignorant or unaware. Nuts on the floor. Nuts on the floor at the hand of the mighty sword, and take it whichever way it comes to you. Nuts on the floor at the hand of the mighty sword and or truth, opening up a can of worms, spilling the beans, sharp pain between your legs, as Barbie lays dead in a shopping cart after a night of sex, passed out drunk, pregnancy, STDs, third-party issues up for clearing. No gifts or desserts are worth all of this itching, putting hands where they don't belong, finding out a marital partner's been cheating, and gifts were cover-ups or a purchase of your partner, paying for sex, even ones you're married to, or grown children with broken hearts over these issues and sleeping the day away due to drugs, alcohol, overeating, and or depression. The goose that laid the golden egg, deliverance, comes up here. Post-delivery ointments, so after you've had a child and you need to touch yourself up down there, and hemorrhoids, but receiving gifts for delivering. So it's that template of having a baby, deliverance. So people bring you gifts when you hurt yourself. When you deliver a baby, you bring them a gift as well. But someone refusing to get up at night and postpartum depression sets in, no more fun and games when you can't function with a baby with a hangover and no sleep and work the next day. All right, so all of those woundings and templates are coming up to be cleared for the masculine. And I want to say too, like every time I lately when I pull this, I just take a deep breath and it relaxes me right away. So, and I'm just blanking out, but you can see what it is. I know the name of it, it's just not coming to me right now. It might come during the read. Selenite? Selenite, is that right? Yep. So to turn the page is 1058. 58 is the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, which we just started to read with, that Four of Swords, and the 10 again of the Wheel of Fortune, Destiny. Music comes up as underlying energy. It's number 32, or the Six of Wands, the Journeyman, and personal growth was underneath that of the number 7. Spiritual, the calm before the storm, or the Chariot, very powerful. Personal growth going into music, which is also very healing and health. New life reaching for that gold coin, awakening from chains that bind to the trap you allowed yourself to be in, impatient with drunk, negative Jupiter aspects, dysfunctional family, or impish and unable to handle your money in a practical way, or deliberating forever, never quite reaching the end. Letters are written, never meaning to send, okay? But I love you, oh I love you, how I love you, okay? So that song was coming up on Nights in White Satin. And I was getting connection when that came up as well. Staying at the Y in the road. Indecision is torture instead of testing new waters. Like the machine with the money tossed in the air, but unable to actually grab onto any of it if you're grabbing onto all of them at the same time. Okay? So it's giving me that visual. Instead of one step at a time, right? One bill at a time. But you know, when you have those money machines where you're timed to see how much money you can get, you're trying to get all of it at once, so you get a lot of it as opposed to one at a time, but you end up getting none because they all start flying away from you when you try for too much at once. The turtle, in upside down, floating coins around addicts and judging self for not being able to fix everyone else's shit. Okay, so again, instead of taking one step at a time and being present in the moment in time, as we're time jumping here, turtle is upside down, floating coins around addicts and judging self for not being able to fix everyone else's shit, who are now always constantly taking from you. Claws and jaws magically clam up and clamp down. Family money drain and indecision, no one claiming responsibility for the loss. No judgment, indecision, bad decisions, that's all the same. And aligning self with addictive personalities so you can save them, but instead they take you down with them. Savior victim template mentality. It was not Jesus' job to save you all. It was his mission to teach you all how to save yourself. By connecting your heart to your higher self, giving and receiving, allowing love in return, allow others to help, it also makes them feel good too. Damned indecision, blind fool, ignorant jerk, no intuition, all perspectives of the same thing, or just those unaware that they just need to ground and connect instead of thinking too much and building fences around their world. Divine Masculine is called to free themselves from the trappings of homes and fences, refusing to see or make final decisions to allow their heart to rule over their head, but to connect the two on the way through the third eye to the higher self. So it's not about letting go of the mind completely, but it's allowing the heart to rule. and is much wiser and smarter than the mind, because the mind lies to you. But it's like connecting the heart through the third eye on the way to the higher self, using the brain. Also just sitting home all day, feeling safe and comfortable, but not experiencing what else lies out there for you. There's a focus on health with music, which of course is natural healing of the soul. As I turned the page, it was 11:19. 11 is justice, and 19 is the sun. So justice for the masculine. So recently, and before I get this started, I wanted to give you an idea of the court cards at play in the read. And also, as I go into this page, the psoas muscle comes up again, and postpartum in regards to the psoas muscle. So this is a great lesson for all of you women who have had babies. It's very important. The psoas muscle is so important. The court cards here, and they're mostly reversed. King of Pentacles, and not all the kings and queens were here, so listen closely. King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles were both present and reversed, but they were more minor players. The King of Wands and Queen of Wands both reversed, but major players, and the King of Wands and Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords and Queen of Wands, both major players, but both reversed. The Wands were probably a little bit more significant, and the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Cups, came up reversed. And that was it for the kings and queens. Oh, so almost all of them. So just the Queen of Pentacles. No. Oh, the King of Cups was not present. Okay. Probably because he's upright. So he's not dealing with all this stuff. However, the Page of Wands is reversed, as well as, I think there were some other ones that came up, and I probably have them on the other page. But the Page of Pentacles was upright. Page of Swords was upright. King of Cups was upright, but not in the read. I did see that though. When I looked through the deck. And then, yeah, that was it. So as far as, if there's any kids at play in your situation, or for the masculine, the Page of Pentacles and Swords were upright, but the Page of Wands reversed. And the Knights were upright. I have some more information on that on the next page, so we'll get into that in a minute. But recently, getting more into the read, in the recent past, is solar deity. Okay, it can be just happiness, being out in the sun and enjoying this weather, but it could also be exposing all, okay? Everything coming out. Full exposure with the solar deity, happiness playing in the sun, but full exposure to everyone. Giving up on old wounds, to lead the way to emotional fulfillment with family and kids, sharing the dark and the light, codependencies and addictions and disagreements, it's all okay. Sharing authentic self with kids and new love, innocence, divine masculine coming up as the devil energy or seeing himself that way, and the divine feminine, divine lover receiving from messenger of truth in a harsh way, and then grounding Akashic records with masculine hand and grabbing the world by her left hand to explore. The Shah man, sheep man, shy man, the innocent, the afraid. Feeling exposed, unprotected. But the newborn baby doesn't fear. May cry from discomfort in the body or thoughts it doesn't understand yet. But fear develops from memory. And the psoas reacts separately from the brain to protect the infant when it's a newborn. Some say that newborns fear falling and loud noises, but I can tell you firsthand, my son up to a couple of years of age had no fear of running right off the boardwalk into the ocean, okay? And that doesn't make sense, because when you toss babies up in the air, they love it. And if they had a fear of falling, they would cry. But they're taught by their experiences and their memories. That's when they learn to fear. So some say that they are born with the fear of falling and loud noises. And on the same site, there was another comment from referencing a Dr. Cole, that it's not clear on when fear develops. It's not instinct, and they learn with memory. So that doctor was confirming that, and that was from Quarry.com. And a site that I want to reference to you guys was Dean Somerset. So DeanSomerset. Somerset, SOMERSET.com. And the one I was reading from was from September 19th, 2017. And this was all about the psoas muscle and the postpartum stuff. So there's definitely some good reading in there for you, but I can't get into all of that now. As I started writing this stuff down, those scam calls came in from Social Security twice, and they've called like 3 or 4 more times since then. So I don't usually answer them, but I kind of was curious as to this one because it was coming from Kansas, I think. So now they keep calling. But anyway, as I wrote that down and this trust issue calls came up, right? Because scam calls are all about trust and people who are not trustworthy and you pulling that energy in. Then my son came out at that time to talk because he heard the message of the scam call. And then as I started writing these next few lines, I started sweating. So the masculine energy started coming in, and that was at 12:01. And 12 is the hangman, the wise man, but also 1, the magician. So under this Somerset.com, foundation of that Knight of Pentacles proposing here, the foundation of the read, after Leo or ego left him high and dry or behind injured and uninspired, or then Leo or ego, or that could be themselves, right, with ego, or a Leo or ego throwing temper tantrums like a little kid in the foundation. So it was much more peaceful in the recent past in this read, and the rest of it gets all where everyone's upside down or negative as we get further into the read. So here is where the masculine feels left behind, or getting into arguments or disagreements with people, or the Knight of Pentacles being strong while left behind or out in the cold injured by a fire sign, left out, or out of control person or kids, or trapped between a Leo and a fire sign kid at home fenced in. Centrally is the 2 of flames, okay, which can be the twins, but it also can be a choice of path. 2 flames, lovers with insecurities or not sufficient tools or insufficient funds. I was just getting that. Imprisoned King of Swords, fighting or conflicted by his devil's side, which is just about insecurities, codependencies, addictions, whatever it is. Chained to sharing with innocence. The vulnerable, like taking care of people at work, and then taking care of people at home, and taking care of people of community, right? The Jesus complex. While the divine feminine is being told what to do, or being pushed to choose a path of the old, but wants to be new and happy and loving and share with others. The King of Swords, imprisoning himself, afraid of true affection, doesn't trust. He doesn't trust it. So may think divine feminine is trying to manipulate him, and that's been going on the whole journey where they don't know what true love is, so they didn't trust it when the divine feminine offered it to him. And vice versa, it can go the other way as well. They're just insecurities and trust issues creeping up. Scam calls and fences to fence you in so you'll want to escape. It's like divine timing pushing you to a place where now you can no longer put up with the things that no longer serve you. You need to escape. And here's that scam call again. Okay, so it's confirming that for you. Challenged by the 8 of Orbs. And the 8 of Orbs is all about prison or anxiety. The King of Swords reversed and Queen of Swords come up again. They came up twice. In the center part clarifying, and then again in the challenge part clarifying. The King and Queen of Swords are coming up side by side, willing to work together, but they're both reversed. So this can be 2 different situations. It can be the divine masculine and divine feminine both reversed, with the 7 of Cups reversed, dumping their attachments and learning to make peace with each other. But it also can be the masculine in a divorce situation, which was definitely coming up in this read. But it's coming up more as the King and Queen of Wands reversed are the ones divorcing each other. But the King and Queen of Swords reversed are coming up as them together dealing with children. They're only together as the King and Queen of Swords. So if that's not them, they're just the King and Queen of Wands. And then the King and Queen of Swords reversed could reference to the divine masculine and feminine standing side by side. But it obviously can be someone else too. It could be siblings. and that kind of thing. But just so you know, both couples were all reversed, and I was getting more that this was the divine masculine and feminine being on the two of flames, okay? That it's them working things out, but neither one are quite in their truth yet, okay? Or just not secure in themselves and dealing with each other. So this prison and anxiety, this is the challenge for the masculine of the King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed and the Seven of Cups reversed, dumping attachments. But where is the division line between dumping attachments and being a detached person? The fear of falling, fear of no options, fear of no choice, fear of no love. Fear, no connections, and the King and Queen of Swords not in their truth, or just not being completely their authentic selves. And that is the point, the Swords point. As we turn the page, it's 12:15. 12 again is still the Hangman, the wisdom, and the 15 now we're coming into the codependencies and addictions with the devil. It can just be, that codependency of not having been with your twin yet, too. The desires and the passions that are coming up for both the masculine and feminine. But in this read, masculine seeing himself as the devil and the feminine more as the lover, because we were literally seeing the feminine on the lover and the masculine on the devil. This is the challenge and the fear, the illusion of all of these things that are fear, that are not love. And before I go on, the signs that came up in the body of the read were Gemini, upright and reversed, Virgo, upright and reversed. The upright of Virgo is more minor, it's more reversed. Taurus reversed, Aries upright, Pisces reversed, Libra upright, Leo upright. Sagittarius and Capricorn were more minor. There were no major arcana of them in the body of the read, but they were definitely present in a lesser sense. Sag upright, Capricorn reversed. The King of Wands was reversed, and Aquarius was also reversed. There was no Cancer anywhere in this read, right? So I didn't bring them up in the underlying energy either. And it doesn't even mean that there's no Cancer people in the read. It's just that energy, if it is their sun sign, wasn't the prevalent sign or the important sign coming up here. But no Cancer anywhere in the read, which also means there were no moons, no chariots. Okay? No chariots of fire just came up. All right? Because there's a lot of fire in this read, but no chariots. No Cancer. But no Cancer could be a good thing. That could be a message for someone that there is no Cancer. You're clean. Okay? So, the angel, Queen of Swords, so the twin Queen of Swords, talks about the ultimate family, the 10 of Pentacles, and Sovereign, the 9 of Pentacles. They're the last two cards of the Tarot. They're where you want to be. The single person who has everything they need and want, and the couple and the family that has everything they need and want. But this, talking about this, is imprisoning the King of Swords, because he may not feel worthy of that, or he may have lost money recently, or may not feel he can keep up with it or live up to that expectation. Or her actual family and sovereignty intimidates him and feels he just can't live up to it. He can't live up to the pressure to succeed. But the feminine's probably that way too. He just doesn't realize that. And, it feels intimidated by it. Because, the traditional masculine is supposed to be the breadwinner, the one who makes the more money. And so, obviously, this is another wound, an issue to bring up here. And an issue of trust. If you trust each other, why would you care? If you're both doing exactly what you love and want and you're fine, why would you care about any of that? The King of Swords may be desperate to express his emotions, innocent feelings, but too shy to say. Protecting self with that prison of the mind, prison of staying home, prison of defenses, from being a narcissist or being seen as a narcissist when they're married with children, so that show is coming up, and hung up on a romantic tie outside the relationship. For the family status, so he may be worried that people may see him as hung up on this romantic tie for the family status or money or stability of it, and not the love for the Queen of Swords. Imbalanced angel due to devil, who walked away, ignored, or turned his back on to find himself, to avoid a third-party situation. So here he is again, coming up, is worried about what other people think instead of finding his true happiness, his true north, his authentic self. So now crowning, and this, by the way, this was at 8 of Orbs, the prison, the anxiety of hiding in the woods. Okay, and there's those trust issues too of the wolf in the woods from the fairy tales. But now crowning is the indigo child, physically busy but grieving at work, very sad and or regretful in the aftermath of fallen twins, a negative past or bad memories of childhood, of indecision and or poor judgments and bad decisions of his past. The King of Wands reversed, he may be seeing himself, this is not someone else calling him that, this is what he's seeing himself as the King of Wands reversed. One big dick was the literal translation from the cards, and it's not that anyone's calling him that, it's him calling himself that. But he's thinking that, regretting his rebelliousness, his need to get his own way, being arrogant or wanting to be seen as the player who can get any girl, or just suave and debonair, now just tired and sad or sick and tired of only getting attention for being attractive, passionate, or inspired. Regretting a past decision or a poor choice, no options, no family help or financial assistance, or a big loss of money or loss of inheritance due to or stuck with an over-emotional and or manipulative female. Queen of Cups reversed was coming up here. Immature communication, but really just protecting herself to protect marriage, or Taurus or Libra, who could be the masculine, but that's what she's saying, but she really just wants to protect herself, or Virgo or Gemini, King of Wands reversed versus Queen of Cups reversed. Okay. The Queen of Cups reversed can also be anybody else in his life. He's got a million people in his life. It could be a mother, a sister, a friend, a co-worker. But it could be someone he is not happy with at all. The angry man and manipulative woman who spent all his money, possibly. He may be working as or with a King of Wands reversed, Scorpio and or bad kids, or those who act like children and or make bad decisions. So somebody else might have lost money for him. Libra and or Taurus trying to control women by being superhero, King of Pentacles with red cape, but then ends up hurting people or one special person in a nightmare dream with Aquarius and Capricorn. And now dealing with Aquarius and Capricorn issues. And there is connection there at 1233, 12 being wise and 33 the Christ vibration. As I turn the page is 1256, so the wisdom of the 56, which is the 2 of Swords being in your knowing. Soon, for the masculine, is the 8 of Flames. Okay. And you notice that in this card it's an O of human embodiment of source energy. 8 flames letting go to fix things up. Could be fixing up the house or to fix relationships, to offer money or a new life, and expressing feelings and or a heated exchange. So it could be a really positive thing or it could be a big fight. Message or news from an angel or Sagittarius child, resting or going within, quiet, keeping things to themselves. Maybe saying one thing and doing another, or messaging them by meditation to see what he gets. So the masculine may be meditating to the feminine to see if he gets a reply, or saying things to divert attention away from his rest and or meditation in order to connect to the 5D and in his knowing and to go within. So just getting away from all the chaos, right? Or just trying to get his message to the divine feminine via 5D, an offer to help or work or offer of money and or new life between the masculine and feminine, as the Leo Queen of Wands reversed lowballs an offer, or just is really pissed at the offer she's receiving from the divine masculine, or a separate offer of work that if she's looking for a job. The Queen of Wands reversed is coming up as a Leo. King of Wands reversed as the shaman, King of Pentacles reversed, so this is all him. So it could be the King of Wands was coming up reversed in another part of the read, but here it's coming up as the shaman, so that may not be the problem. Maybe the King of Pentacles reversed that's the problem. He may have lost money and status, or be all about money, hung up on making money. That could be his addiction, is working. Or it could just be about him not being grounded, but is the King of Wands shaman. Trying to work out a settlement, or kids' visitation. Both King and Queen of Wands are pissed, or just the King of Wands is reversed and pissed that he is not, or the Queen of Wands is pissed that he is not offering her enough money in order to give her peace of mind. Or he may have offered her plenty, but then took it back after she refused, and now offering less. And she may be now fuming or expecting custody to get the child support, but things are not working out her way or the way that she wanted or planned. The Divine Masculine is seeing himself as the Justice card, which can be Libra as well, or just sees himself as truth and balance. And Libra and Virgo were coming up in the clarifiers. Juggling fairly to offer love to a Hermit reversed or a Virgo in hopes of an opportunity to offer his gold coin, or possibly just a chance, possibility to be a student, to learn, to study, to come out of hiding, but just a little bit at a time. All right, there we have another scam call again, all right? So it's a big topic of the day, not being fenced in or jailed or dealing with scam artists. The romance angel cards that came up for the masculine were pay attention to the red flags. That's all about pay attention to your signs and your own inner guidance. You deserve love, healing family issues, especially if they're going through a divorce or a break in contract or a business. Love yourself first, masculines, and soulmate, that yes, this is your soulmate. Around the masculine, or how he is seen, is the wounded warrior, free to open their heart though now and leap, reaping rewards, and to see what he's got, whether it's him or someone else around him. This is Taurus and Aries energy coming up. Is it enough to live on? So he's looking at what if it's him, it's what does he have? Is it enough? Is he worthy? Does he have enough to get divorced and still be on his own? Or, this is also going to be about a break in contract and that kind of thing. But is it enough to live on? Is it enough for him to get a divorce or make that break in a contract? Or is it enough to now be more spiritual if he's not going to be making as much money as he has been? Clear masculine is to clear blocks of the King of Wands shaman and not showing anger, right? Because the shaman is supposed to be this peaceful man. It's not about not showing anger. It's about not taking your anger out on others. So if you do have anger, go scream or work out or punch a pillow. Let it out. Shout, shout, let it on out. All right, so that definitely came up the other day as well, that song. But it's about finding what's triggering you to make you angry in the first place. When you find the initial wound, and this is the shadow work, instead of getting triggered, when you do feel yourself triggered, take yourself out of the situation and go back to your childhood as far back as you can remember, to where you first were triggered in this specific way. When did you first react to this comment or action in this specific way? When did that first start? And you'll find it. It's there. You want to bring that subconscious up to your consciousness, so then you can release it, and then that will no longer be pulled in. This is shadow work. So don't hold the anger in, but don't take it out on anyone else either. It's your job to be responsible for your own pain and your own healing, to find out where it's coming from so that you can release it for good. And if you can't right at that moment, then at least go away, go outside and scream, or go hit a pillow, or whatever you need to do. But don't push it back down, because then you're causing more wounds. Okay? So clear those blocks of being seen as the peaceful man always, right? Allow people to see your shadow side, the anger that comes up. It's human, right? It's okay to be angry, but just not okay to take it out on other people. Clear blocks of that King of Wands shaman and not showing anger. Presently, King of Pentacles reversed, sharing money to make peace with the Queen of Wands reversed, right? Always the shaman making peace with people, but he's doing it to shut her up. Health was coming up. Not healthy to keep your anger in. But even more so than health was karmic completion, pride, love, leadership, and love partnership, which may be a clue to where those wounds are coming from. There's sudden jealousy. And by the way, this is how the masculine sees himself, the Justice, Divine Justice card. What's around him, the wounded warrior, Nine of Flames. And then the blocks he needs to clear is that King of Wands shaman, Master of Flames. And then as we come to the end of the read, we have the guidance, which is the Hierophant, and the Four of Chalices, which is that Four of Cups, the grounding and integrating and mastering of your emotions and your anger, all that kind of thing, okay? So it's about guidance. This is commitment to yourself, okay, to a higher love. Instead of wishing on that star, it's about manifesting your dreams come true by mastering all parts of your life, including your emotions, right? Mastering your thoughts, which is the swords, mastering of the cups of your heart and your emotions, mastering the wands of your passions and your sexuality, and then mastering the pentacles of manifesting your life in this world. And there's another scam coming in, okay? It really wants to get that point across to you. Don't fence yourself in and don't scam yourself. Don't not do things because you don't trust yourself. You do trust yourself. You know the game now. It's being your loving, authentic self. And when you get triggered, to make it your responsibility, not theirs. It's not someone being mean to you or doing something wrong. It's a wound that needs to come up that you need to walk away and clear. So if you get triggered, you step out of the situation. There's never any other outcome than that. You always know how to behave in every situation. You either be your loving self and have a good time, and when you're not having a good time or you get triggered, it's time to walk away. Again, sudden jealousy or sudden drama comes up with Scorpio energy to make peace in order to see eye to eye, manifesting a divorce or breaking contract or tradition, not walking away from difficult emotions this time and dealing with it. Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius may be part of this triangle, third-party situation, but they don't have to be sun signs. They can be really any part of their makeup. Trying to get, because it'll be whatever part of their chart is coming up in the situation or at that moment, trying to get to satisfaction, the masculine, by himself, right, being happy alone, grounding and integrating a breakup or disconnect in a marriage, or with Taurus or Scorpio or Pisces, Aquarius, or Leo, and then Taurus wishing on a star that their dream girl will offer love or accept his offer of love to turn their worlds right back up again. And I was getting then, you complete me, right, from Jerry Maguire, that came up. So, or an Aquarius karmic is trying to get him to take her back, but the karmic completion, and that's the card that came up in the numerology deck with others, he must focus on his health now. And that may be a good excuse for him, since he may not like to argue about other things, right? Coming together defenseless, focusing on his health, coming together defenseless to sovereign. Whether that's him being single and being good on his own, right, with everything he needs, or him coming together defenseless with his divine feminine, or possibly a grown daughter, and all of this being music to his ears. Resting in the sun to open his heart and make an offer to free self, could be a Libra wounded warrior, or wounded by the justice system, exposed divine feminine, or exposed twin flame, exposing the twin flame situation, or one or the other, but challenged by anxiety, fear, prison, and expressing passionate feelings, as or to the King of Wands, shaman, indigo, or with indigo child, commitment, and or grounding and integrating a breakup of a partnership, contract, or marriage. Now, this read doesn't have to have any children involved. There's no major pages. There are in the clarifications, but not in the major cards. There was an indigo as a major arcana that can be a child, and there's a knight that can be a child. So there could be 1 to 2 children involved, but it doesn't necessarily mean there's any children involved here. But could be. The indigo could definitely be the masculine as well, or the feminine, or another adult. Thinking about exposing all, even bad decisions, proposing a path to or as an indigo or magician, challenged by anxiety or prison, or proposing to twin to make magic, or at least get past their insecurities, as justice, truth, balance, and or Libra, arrows of love, or expressing passionate feelings, or a possible heated exchange in a divorce or a break. The wounded warrior, King of Wands, shaman, grounds and integrates a break in a partnership and or marriage, or it could literally be wishing to marry somebody as well. Could be a child trying to get his parents back together, her parents back together, or kids insecure about the twin and are not feeling it's fair that they have to choose with who they live with. Heated discussions in divorce and or contracts. The King of Wands could be the Divine Masculine, but also could be a karmic partner and or business partner or brother. Can be the King and Queen of Wands divorcing, King and Queen of Swords insecure and in fear or anxiety, but side by side dumping emotional attachments, or the divorcing parents and dealing with children, especially an older daughter. If there's a younger child and or a boy involved, that's more of a physical issue, like an ADHD issue, very physical, you know, running around being crazy, indigo issue, or just bad tantrums, or a kid who's just uninspired, maybe being lazy, or according to what the parents think. But those are all the energies that come up with the read. Yeah, very specific information there, okay? So here's the picture of the basic read, right, from the Sirian Starseed deck, and then this is the entire read with the clarifiers. Okay. I don't think I had anything drop out in the shuffle to show you. But yeah, definitely, there's definitely a divorce here from someone. It doesn't mean everyone is breaking up, but there's definitely masculines who are breaking up, whether it's their marriage, their partnership, or a business partnership, or a family partnership, whatever it is. There's definitely negotiations going on. There could be heated arguments, but there could also be passion going on here. Definitely the masculine and feminines coming together to try to work things out. So it's all at play here. So, okay. Make sure you drink your water. Get your rest. Don't be hard on yourself. It's all good. You're not ever going to get rid of all your shadow. And it's all good. Alright? Just have fun. It's spring and summer. Rise and be well.